two, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think it may be a little too cold out here, boy. Yeah, it's a little too cold out here. We're gonna just do this as the intro video. We talking about dirty moors today, but I was trying to film this thing outside. It's too cold for me. You know what I mean? I'm a tropical brother. Tropical moor. I'm gonna get back in here in a second. 1 second. Peace. All right, we in a little more warmer climate now. I don't know if you let me get that sun out the way. Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, and that's relative because right now it's 48 degrees, but for California brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, Northern California specifically, the Bay Area, man, 48, that's cold. It's chilly. You know what I mean? Plus that wind, man, you don't want to feel that. If you drop below 40, it's freezing. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother topic. Anyways, dirty moor. The reason I'm addressing this is because I've said it. You may have come across other people saying it. You may have read it, you know what I mean? If you know moors that call themselves moors, you may have heard them talk about dirty moors, but you may not have an understanding of where that comes from. So I just wanted to give a little background on that, just so you can have some context. And this is coming from Oral Statements and Prophecies of Noble Drew Ali. And basically this book is just a collection of statements from different moors during the time Noble Drew Ali was alive, 1886 to 1929. And you need to take that into consideration when you're reading this book or you hear these statements, is that these are statements that people said that Noble Drew Ali said. You know, so just keep that in mind. But it says Sister A. Brown L of Temple number 4 and number 25 said that the Holy Prophet said, if your brother does something wrong to you, don't call him a nigger, call him a dirty moor. If your brother does something wrong to you, don't call him a nigger, call him a dirty moor. I wanted to read that one just to put it on the record so that you understand where this comes from, that if you hear someone saying, you know, that's a dirty moor, you being a dirty moor, it's coming from a place of using a different term instead of nigger to address, you know, an individual that's doing something that's foul, you know. And I appreciate the mentality because, you know, nigger, whether we understand it or not, it has some implications that identify us as less than human, you know, and connects to slaves and Negroes, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, the mentality I feel was to shift us from degrading ourselves and each other, specifically our brothers, our family, to prevent us from degrading each other by the words that we use, and instead to shift it a little bit, you know, to say that they're dirty moor, you know. And to me, that represents that we're still saying they're moors, we're still saying they're family, but they just got a little dirt on them. You know what I mean? They doing some things that got them a little dirty. They need to clean themselves up. You know what I mean? It's a condition. Whereas, you know, to call, like if someone's doing wrong to you and you say, man, you a foul ass nigga. Well, you know, whether we understand it or not, that has some implications, and it has energy that is saying to them that they're less than human. And someone, you know, other than ourselves that may not understand what we're talking about, or may not understand that we're not trying to say that, they may take it as we're calling them less than human, we're calling them Negroes, we're calling them slaves, and may start treating us accordingly, you know. And I feel like the change in that to getting us to, man, you acting like a real dirty moor right now. You know what I mean? Moor, you looking real dirty right now, the way you acting. I feel like the energy with that is much different. And I know the one thing I wanted to point out is that the statement says if your brother is doing you harm. So it's helping you understand that this is still your family, you know, and to not get so upset that you would be that demeaning and that disrespectful to your own family, you know. And I think that's something that we have to be mindful, especially even myself, you know, when you see people doing things that they know and you know is wrong, you know what I mean, and it's doing a lot of harm to us. We can't You know what I mean? We can't allow the anger or the frustration or the pain to get us to lash out in the same way. You know what I mean? Hurt people. Two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? I think those are just some of the things I really wanted to put out there about the term. And just for you to be mindful when you hear that term, that was at least the original essence of where this term dirty moor came from. Ultimately, I would like to say this. Ultimately, I think that there is a place and a time to call out people when they're doing things wrong, and to say, man, you are acting like a dirty moor right now. You are being a dirty moor right now. But bigger than just calling someone out for the things that they're doing that are causing harm or that we feel is incorrect, it's what is the room, where is the room for correction? What are you saying to that dirty moor to help uplift them, to help clean the dirty moor off? You know what I mean? I think that we have to start reconditioning and reprogramming our minds to think of the solutions, and not just identifying and pointing out the problem or placing blame on the person, but figuring out how to solve the issue regardless of who's to blame, or regardless of who we're pointing out as the problem in the situation. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Yeah, I think that's it. Much love to you. Keep shining, keep studying, and don't be a dirty moor. Much love. Peace. All right, boom. One more thing. And I know some may be like, well, I'm not a dirty moor and I follow the check it out, man. We all got little dirt. We all have done some things that are not, the purest, not the most ideal, not the most upright and righteous and blah, 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 blah. So, chill with the judging others. Matter of fact, it's a Bible verse. I want to say it's Matthew 7:3, but I'm not positive. You can look it up later. But anyways, the quote or the verse is basically saying, how can you notice the speck in your brother's eye but not notice the log in your own eye? Or to update the language, how can you notice the small flaws in the next man but don't notice the gigantic flaws in your own self? And I think ultimately, when we talk about dirty moors, we need to look within ourselves and realize, the actions that we have taken that can label us or have us looking like dirty moors, and clean up ourselves first before we try cleaning up the next person. You know what I mean? Because if you try to clean up the next person and you dirty, well, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's gonna be a little difficult, right? You feel me? Anyways, I just want to put that on the record. You know what I mean? Just chill out on the judging other people. You know what I mean? Really work on judging yourself first and improving yourself first and working on your lower self. You know what I mean? But anyways, nothing. Peace and love. Keep shining. Bye.